Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing a sample of Abdul Samad al Qurashi's Qurashi blend. And this is a 5 ml sample, which allows me to be quite generous in terms of sampling and testing it, which this perfume actually warrants, right? Because when I've done the research from like checking what some of the other folks who are very experienced in Middle Eastern perfumery have put out there, is that for some folks, when they do their first initial wear, it's not always like love at first sniff. This has a very interesting and complex and non-linear sort of scent profile that transitions over multiple phases. So let me give you a smell right here. So right off the bat, I smell a very beautiful and well-blended oud in the background, and there is a slightly medicinal, if you will, slightly medicinal but herby sort of feel, and slightly sweet as well right off the bat. Now, it's not, when I say oud, it's very well blended. It's not very sharp. It's in the background really, and it just carries the scent profile. Yeah, it's quite beautiful. I mean, when I say beautiful, it's very, very pleasant and it's not overpowering. So anyone who really wants to transition into Middle Eastern perfumery and is like turned off by heavy oud or heavy musk or anything overpowering, this is usually a really great gateway into it, if you can afford to shell out the kind of dollars that this comes with. So hence sampling really helps upfront, right? So the slightly sweet, herby, shrubby sort of note in the front, medicinal note off the front, that transitions, that sweet note goes away in about the first 40 minutes or so on your skin, and then it transitions to a very light musk, meaning that herby note, that herby slightly sweet note transitions to the background, and there's a soft musk note somewhere in the mid to the back and to the end note that comes to the fore, but it's not a very heavy musk note that overpowers. For example, in Osmo Woody S, we reviewed a while ago, it's very overpowering, the musk. This one is very soft and it comes to the front, and the herbs take a back seat. And then I want to say after the 1 to 1.5 hour mark line, there is a lily of the valley note and some other florals as well that come to the fore, and that takes a front seat, while the herbal note sort of takes a back seat. So you can see there's multiple layers to this perfume, and it's so beautiful and gorgeous in that way, and it's something that you can never experience in a dupe, to be honest. Obviously there's got to be some value in getting these OGs, right? And here's what I'm breaking down. So this floral note as well, that transitions back to a slightly woody and slightly herby note as well after like the 2 hour note, a little bit lighter and lighter than what it was in the first hour. And then after like 2 to 2.5 hours, I personally cannot feel it on my skin beyond that point. And as for how much it projects, it's a decent scent bubble around you, but folks are not going to be smelling you across the room. This is not one of those perfumes, right? And if you want to like make some noise with this perfume, you'd have to spray it a lot, and this is not that kind of perfume with its price that you really overspray. This is for someone who's comfortable with that very high class Middle Eastern complex perfumery. You spray it a few times, and then you just keep it moving, or you layer it on with something else. And so that's really all there is to it. And obviously, if you want to make it last longer than that, you try spraying it on your clothes. In general, that's the advice for most perfumes, and inshallah it'll last longer. So that's it for this profile. I've got a few of the flankers of this line as well, and we'll be looking at some of the other perfumes in this line in the future. Barakallahu feek, jazakallah khair.